Okay, let's continue back with our arteries as we leave the heart, and this time let's go up our neck and up towards our head. Now remember again, if you leave that left ventricle of the heart, remember that left ventricle is what pumps blood from the top of your head, the tip of your toes. As soon as you leave that left ventricle, first thing you'd see would be the ascending aorta, then you get to that aortic arch. Now remember that aortic arch has got three big branches coming off of it. The first one to the right is the brachiocephalic artery. Then the middle one would be the left common carotid. Then off to the other side you'd have the left subclavian. But let's go back to this aorta right here. Let's follow it up. First branch off of it is the brachiocephalic artery. Now if you follow it up, one thing coming off of it is the right common carotid. Notice how you got common carotids on either side. Remember, the right common carotid comes off that brachiocephalic artery, but the left one comes off the aortic arch. So all those right there are very close together, as you see here. Now let's follow either one of these common carotids up. The common carotids are going to split just before you get to the angle of the mandible. Remember, it's that bend sort of down towards the bottom of it right there. So each common carotid is going to split into an external and internal carotid. The internal carotids, both sides, are two of the biggest blood flows up to your brain. They go up through the carotid canals in the bottom of the skull. The external carotids take blood to everything superficial to the brain. So think about your skull, the muscle, and then the skin, which is superficial to all that. So again, back we had the aortic arch. If we're coming off to the right side, brachiocephalic artery. Off to the left side, left common carotid. Each common carotid splits into an external and internal. So you got the same thing left and right. If we put them all on here, it gets a little bit cluttered, so just going to leave it sort of as is. Then we got some others shown right here. The vertebral arteries, remember, come up through your neck. The cervical vertebrae and the transverse processes have holes in them. The vertebral arteries come up through them and the vertebral veins down. That runs up to the basilar artery, to the cerebral arterial circle, and that joins with those internal carotids, takes blood up to your brain. But here's some of the others, like the buccal artery. Think about your cheeks. That's what that buccal region is. Facial artery right there, as you can see, a relatively large one. Tympanic, think about the tympanic membrane and such, associated in with your ear. Maxillary artery to your upper jaw. Temporal, right? Remember the temporal bone on the side of your skull there. Occipital bone to the back. Orbital, going to your eyes. Lacrimal, with those glands right there. And then if we move down just a little right here, we can see a cerebral up here towards the top. So again, nice little view of some of the large arteries leaving your heart, right? From the aorta to the right side, brachiocephalic. Then again, left side, you'd have that left common carotid, but off the brachiocephalic to the right. We got right common carotid. Then there's those internals and externals and so on down the line. So nice little view of those. We'll look at more of these in our next video.